kept you waiting, huh? Honestly, this video was going to be so many different things, but I never really could decide what to do it on. I thought about book reviews, I thought about really anything, but there's something that captivates my attention every day. It's the wonderful world of music. And I know you might be saying to yourself, you're like, Isaac, why are you talking about music? Your taste in music is trash. To that I say, kill yourself. Anyway, everyone likes a certain type of music, whether it's country or rap or popular music or rock and roll. But I feel like the most overlooked out of every genre, especially nowadays, is metal. You don't really find much metal anymore. Or do you? You see, metal has really gone under the radar these days, and a lot of people don't talk about it in the same vein as they would rap or country, but it's still there. And particularly, it's prominent in areas of Europe and even a Japanese artist we won't name. And one of my favorite modern metalers these days is an artist by the name of Amaranth. Particularly, I want to talk about the album called The Catalyst. Now, at first, you may be asking yourself, Isaac, this band is Swedish. To that I say, you're right. That is a noticeable downgrade about the band, but trust me. Except I tricked you. Yes, I actually completely tricked you. I'm not going to talk about one album, because that's stupid. Why would I do that? That's kind of dumb. So instead, I'm going to talk about the band as a whole and my experience with the band. So, I'm gonna be making bacon with this one, boys. It's gonna get all the views, trust me. So you're asking me, you're like, Isaac, well, how did this band start? Were they good? Did they come on the scene like going crazy? Were they going hard? No. Just like most people in their first times, they sucked at it. They were garbage. They were awful. And I know that's a bit heavy hitting, but it's kind of the truth, so I can't really do anything for them there. That's not to say there weren't good songs or there was only one good song that showed a bit of promise. Automatic is the song. Which, by the way, they never did a remix of, so they suck. So would the small startup Swedish band who loves meatballs finally find time to make good music? Well, it's postulating a question. A small startup band creating good music is inevitable eventually, as long as you give them enough money. And money they made, because their trash song Hunger has 35 million plays on Spotify, which I still don't know how that happened, and am still flabbergasted to this day about it. But, eventually they would find time to make actual good music with their next album, The Nexus. And they actually included commentary about all their songs too, for some reason. Like, I want to hear what you have to say. Like, no, I don't. In fact, if you could shut up, like, I would really just like to hear the song. Like, dude really thinks that we care about her opinion. Like, but why would the Nexus, their next album, not suck as much? Well, my wonderful, sexy, beautiful, handsome, intelligent viewers, It's because it simply didn't. And it's not to say that there weren't songs that sucked in the album, because there were. It's just that the bangers really banged. The Nexus, which is the song, not the album, went hard, went incredibly hard. And there were several that did not. But even the ones that had obvious flaws with them still found a way to make it up, such as Electroheart going pretty hard, despite it having some obvious problems that even an amateur musician could understand as a problem, such as a random break in the chorus for like no reason. That's like me going, hey guys, do you like the video? Do you want to like and subscribe? I think that would be great. You see how annoying that is? Despite this, I feel like it was a massive step up for Amaranth at this point. Amaranth was kind of getting the ball rolling, and she decided to release Massive Addictive. And I say she because the lead singer's a girl. The rest of them are guys, so I'm just going to call it a she. The band as a whole is she, because I'm gay or something. And she released Massive Addictive, another album that, you know, hit in some areas, did not hit in others. I feel like Drop Dead Cynical and Digital World go incredibly hard, as well as Trinity, which I actually liked. But there were noticeable problems still that sort of went on. Problems, however, did not stop the best song on the album getting 85 million plays. 85 million, which is crazy for a small Swedish band. That's not Sabaton. To be fair, Sabaton goes crazy hard. So, yeah. So then Amaranth would go on to make Maximalism and Helix, those two albums, and didn't really get that much noticeable attention on either of them. I'm guessing they were probably mediocre, even though I've never listened to them. So I'm making a judgment without any evidence or listening to an album on my own. What are you going to do about it? Absolutely nothing. You can't stop me. This is my video. There's nothing you can do about that. And then finally, I'm an idiot. Not finally. Manifest, their new album, as in it was made in 2020, was pretty good. Although I will say this, it starts out kind of garbage and then gets fantastic until the 11th song, and then gets fantastic again. It's kind of crazy how that works, you know? You don't see that very often. But like Archangel, for example, that song goes hard. But Manifest would not be their last album, because there's one more album that they have that they just released in 2024, The Catalyst. And The Catalyst is good, which it really shouldn't be. There are a lot of problems with it, and yet it goes incredibly hard. So hard, in fact, that I had to go to the doctor because it was so hard. I had to get 3 wishes from a genie. It was so hard. I had to kidnap 30 kids, Your Honor, because it was, and I quote, so hard. But that was just the albums. What about the singles? Let me tell you. It's a mixed bag. I mean, there are good singles here, don't get me wrong, but sometimes they attempt to make weird ones. Like, for instance, they tried to do a Sabaton song. Like, that one throwaway bit was not like a lie. No, they they tried to make a Sabaton song, basically. And they did so terrible, they made. It just goes to show you that one band's style can be so unique that if you try and copy it to any extent, you'll do a terrible job. But maybe it was just because a woman was singing it. Either way, Amaranth, despite having obvious problems, and I'm going to be real for here for a second, no jokes, is really, I think, a fantastic artist. Like, creates lots of bangers in terms of metal. And you know what? That's all that matters. You're not defined in life by your low moments, by your hungers or damnation flames. But you are defined by your resistances and your archangels. And if you don't know what I meant by any of that, those are all songs by Amaranth, and you're just going to have to listen to them if you want to find out what I mean by that. So, in conclusion, I think that we can all learn something today about life, about music, and about a random band you've probably never heard of, and who has a very similar name to a horrible streamer who threw her cat one time and is kind of brain dead. Just like this video. Ha 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 ha. But don't worry. Everything will be just fine. That's what my ex told me slowly before she broke up with me. And it's what I'm going to tell you slowly before I wait 2 years to make another video. I hope that's fine with you, because I don't care. I have my own time. I have my own preferences. And you finally saw me get rid of that. I had it for the whole video. Good night. Goodbye. See ya. Adios. Sayonara. Dingus.